Hi guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. Excuse my tired voice. It is currently 6:45 in the morning and it is Monday, August 30th. Today is my last capstone shift, my last day delivering babies till who knows long. I have no idea what my future career plans look like or anything right now. So yeah, that's just that, and I'm sad. I'm feeling a little bit anxious because this is truly something that has made me so happy doing. I never thought in nursing school that I would be so happy waking up so early and going and working all these 12-hour shifts for free. But it really has been so rewarding, and I'm so grateful that I got this experience. I know it's a very competitive placement, so my heart is just going to be leaving here so full today, and I'm really excited to see what my day looks like and share it with you guys and tell you guys a lot about it at the end. But I am going to be bringing you guys along with me today and just sharing a little day in the life with you guys. I hope that I can get some good content. I've tried filming this 2 days in a row, and every day just something crazy happens and I have not been able to film anything. But I'm probably going to just get little snippets throughout the day and then hopefully kind of explain it and be talking to you guys through my whole shift so that it can be a little bit easier seen and understood and all of that. But I hope everyone is having a great morning, or I guess whatever time you're watching this video, and welcome, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, so I usually start off by parking in employee parking. I get to park there because I am an employee at this hospital, and so that's really convenient as a student as well. I beep into my hospital, I go in, and this is where I usually grab my masks, but as you can see they were gone, so I made my way to our labor and delivery elevators. These are the biggest motivation every single day of my life that I walk in through them, just hoping and praying one day I get to work on this floor as a nurse. Then I go ahead and beat myself into our actual unit. There is like so much security all over this place. Obviously babies are such a priority. Then I head on down our staff hallway. I put, if I can find any space, my lunchbox in a fridge. Thankfully we have two, because I swear I get so lucky sometimes. Then I grab some scrubs. I love wearing medium pants because I love anchoring them around my hips, because we have to put so much stuff and I end up with so much in my pockets by the end of the day that it's absurd. And if I don't wear them around my waist, I swear they start sagging no matter how tight I tie them. I personally am obsessed with these. I know every other girl that I feel like does anything loves wearing fig scrubs and stuff, but I cannot tell you guys how much I love wearing these simple blue surgical scrubs. I think they're so cute, and I love that they're baby blue on our floor, and then I love accessorizing with the color baby pink. I also always get stuck with an extra large or a large jacket, and I can't not have a jacket because I literally freeze. But after that, I put on my badge clip. This is my student ID. Everything that I have on it is linked in my student supply haul, but that placenta one, I will link it down below. Then I also put on a specific badge row that I get from as a student one from the hospital itself so that I can get in and out of the doors and stuff. Then I get my cute little pink Littmann stethoscope, my pink pen. I really tell you guys, I love having fun with pink on this floor because everything's pink and blue and it's so fun. Once I'm done with that, I go ahead and pack all my stuff and put it in my locker, and then I get ready to head out on the floor. I get my clipboard, a scratch paper for notes all day so I don't have to carry a notebook around, and then I get our report sheet. Before we get report from the night shift nurses with our specific patients, we have a nurse that goes over the progress of all of the mamas on the floor. Our board doesn't necessarily look like this, but it's pretty similar. It just goes over all of the labor progress. We have the patient, obviously their name is all like a specific way so that it's not personal, and that way we know but no one else could walk in and know. We have their room number, age, time in, the doctors. We have the nurse working with them. This is important so you can figure out who your night shift nurse was so you can find them to get report. Then we have their GNPs, we have their membranes. Are they ruptured? Was there meconium? Anything like that. And we have if they're rubella immune or not, if they are GBS positive or negative, and all of that kind of stuff. And then usually each patient's name is colored a different color depending on if they're in induction, if they're antepartum, if they're laboring, if they're already delivered vaginally, or if they've already delivered C-section, stuff like that. Once we're done getting reports, we get our little report sheets, which I already showed you earlier, but here's a little closer up of a picture of it. I love our report sheets. I really love how well they're set up for us. we put usually the mom sticker in that top corner. That's really helpful when we're in and out of the room, buzzing in all these buttons and stuff into the computer in there. Then we have their G's and P's, you know, their estimated date of confinement. Are they GBS positive, negative, blood type? Allergies is huge. Their provider, their biggest complaint. It's so important to know their OB history and just previous any medical history. It's important to know their support person. This can be very personal for a lot of people, so you always want to make sure you know who their support person is and their title, their role, all of that stuff. That can be so important to a lot of specific patients, and you always want to respect that. Then we have if they have cervical ripening, or are they already on Pitocin? If so, when did it start? What's it at now? And then we also make sure that we have all of their labor checks and all of that kind of stuff, any important labs if necessary. We can always pull them up on their chart, but the most important ones we usually have on here. Alright, then we go with our night shift nurse, and she introduces us to our patients and announces that we are switching off for the shift. We update basically just the nurse part and the daytime doctor or anything like that, the anesthesia. We have a part where we have like the whole team on the board, not just the doctor and the nurse. We have pain management. We ask what they want out of pain management. Do you want an epidural? Then we also try and mark their medications on here if they're on any type of antibiotic and stuff like that. What round it's on, what dose it's on. This is important for doctors as we try and get like 3 bags in before they deliver baby if they're GBS positive and stuff like that. Once our boards are all updated, we go ahead and check our baby monitors. We have a Toco monitor here, which is that top one, which basically assesses mom's contractions. It's on that part of her tummy because I swear that is the hardest part that you feel when mama is feeling a contraction. It's a great spot to look for. When you go in clinicals and they ask you if you guys want to feel a contraction, always check that top part of the tummy because that's where you'll feel it the most. And it's also really easy when the monitors aren't working during labor, and if the mom can't necessarily feel her contractions, for you to be able to palpate that area and, you know, be like, okay, one's coming on, stuff like that. It's also important to palpate that usually during a lot of charting and stuff if it's needed. Then that bottom one is such a cute monitor. I love finding the baby's heart rate. It is my favorite thing in the world to do. I love putting baby on the monitor. There's just something so satisfying about hearing that tiny little baby heartbeat. And I will show you guys a little bit later how we watch these on the charts outside of the room so that we don't have to constantly be up mama's grill all day. Then once those are good and if they're all set up, then we go ahead and check our blood pressure, our oxygen sat. We make sure mama's temp is good. Temps are important. We want no infection. So then we get vitals and all of the monitors set up. Then I threw this in here. Our patient this day did not have this, but this is a Novi. This is an upgraded Bluetooth kind of styled baby monitor. So we just, you know, put it on with some stickers like that. And then that middle blue thing is actually a Bluetooth battery, and it plugs into that thing over there that's on top of the big monitor. And these work really good when they want to work, but they are such a pain in the butt when they don't, because you're constantly going in that room and fighting to get baby back on that thing, and it's stressful for us because we want to be watching baby as much as possible. So I love the OG ones, but I know these are more convenient, more comfortable for mama, so I would love to make these work, but if not, it's always safest to go back to the OG style so that we can make sure mama and baby are both being watched. These are what our little machines look like. So all of those cords in that first picture that you see, and then that little thing that the Bluetooth thing hooks up to, hooks into this machine so that we can on the screen see baby's heart rate. Baby's heart rate usually only is in one of those, but you can get it both there just depending on where you plug it in, obviously. But the 144 and 141 up there are baby's heart rates. Then that Toco monitor I told you guys about that monitors mama's contractions is that 57 right there. And then down below is where we get all of her vital signs. My favorite thing on this is the mark button, because I love marking stuff when we're in the room. That way, if we're not charting right away or during the delivery, if anything chaotic happens, you just mark as much as you can. Then you know to go out and you're like, okay, this happened at this time. Like, we marked it. Let's go ahead and chart that now. Just in case you're having a really busy day or you're in the middle of something like an epidural or something, where you have to do like a check with your anesthesiologist. That way nothing's getting missed in charting. We also check our lines. That is so important. We make sure if the mom is on Pitocin, we want to check this. This is how we run our Pitocin through our Plum A machine. We want to make sure the rate's right. We want to make sure she's at a safe dose. We want to make sure there's everything's good, it's running, there's no beeping, because these things are annoying as heck when they beep. So we go ahead and check our lines. After we checked Mama's lines and made sure they were good, she was getting ready to get an epidural, so we went and got her another bag. I think this was her second bag already of LR, which was really good. We always try and do LR, but depending on the mom's circumstances, obviously. Then we have their Pitocin hanging. Usually this mama had Pitocin going. She was in induction from the night before. That's always the best, and with her progress, I knew she was delivering on our shift, which was like the most exciting thing ever for me. She was also having a girl, which makes everything better. After that, I always go and grab so many blankets so that I can warm up and get everything ready on the warmer. This is what our baby warmers look like. This is how we take the baby after delivery, and we weigh them on this. It's warm for them. They wrap them on their blankets. They measure them. They do all that fun stuff. It's also set up in case baby needs oxygen or extra suctioning, which is what I do. After I get the baby blankets, I go ahead and I turn this on and get it warming up. And then I go ahead and get my tiny little baby, they're so cute, oxygen masks. And I set that up with the machine, kind of like how the nurse is doing in this next picture that I showed you guys. We have to have all of that stuff completely prepared and ready to use for anything, any baby, no matter what the circumstances are, just in case, because you never know what can happen. So in the corner of that picture, you can see there's a little mask there, and we always keep them covered because you want that as that's a sterile thing. That's touching the baby's face. Don't touch it with your hands. We always leave it in the bag when we're doing this stuff and doing it with gloves. And then we prepare suctioning. And on this machine, you guys will learn it, but you have to have it at like a certain suction and stuff like that, and a certain type. There's like a whole lot that goes into it that I feel like I need to hold it to explain to you guys, but once you learn it, it's really fun to set up, because who doesn't love holding a tiny baby mask and playing with baby blankets, you know what I mean? After that, we can leave the room, and we usually go to the charting station. This is what our strips on the computer look like. This is what's next to that big labor screen that I showed you guys that we get report on from all of the patients in the morning. That bottom screen is that Toco monitor, that one top one I told you guys about. So those big hills right there are mama's contractions in this one. All these pictures are Google, by the way. No one come at me. But yeah, so that's mama's contractions. Each red line, or the space between each red line, is 60 seconds. So that's kind of how we count how far apart they are. There's a ton that goes into charting that I can't even cover in this vlog. But we go ahead and chart that. We have to RN review the strip every 15 minutes. We have to chart everything we do with mama, position changes, up and pit, anything, any type of medication. It all has to be charted on the strip. And then that top line there is baby's heart rate. So that's where we get the baby's baseline and how we assess if baby's having any accelerations or decels. Remember, decels are bad. We do not want decels. After we went and charted everything we did on this mama this day, we went and got her on the ball. She was feeling a little sore and a little tight in her hips, so we got her on this and moving them around just to stretch them out and give her something to do. These are awesome. I love getting mamas on the birthing balls. Then I had time for a quick snack. I freaking love these things. They are the best. Then after that, we went ahead and our mama was ready for her epidural. She was at that point in her pain. So these are just some little pictures of what an epidural looks like. It's totally different. It's a huge sterile procedure. Everything has to be done a certain way. We have to make sure we are checking mom's heart rate and blood pressure so periodically during this. You have to set up the machine and everything a certain way, which you will learn during that, but we really need to watch their blood pressure for hypotension. After her epidural, we let that kick in for a little bit. Once she was feeling good, we did her Foley. I did her Foley. And then we got her in some fun peanut ball positions. I love positioning our moms every 15 minutes because I have some positions that I just get my baby out of there, and it is the best little hack. Then at around 2:30, I went and had my lunch real quick because our mama was at 9 centimeters. So I hurried up and ate, and then we started pushing. This is the face I got when my nurse was like, "It's time." She said at 10, let's get going. Then me and my nurse go in and we start pushing with our patients, and then you usually don't call the doctor in unless the doctor wants to be in there for all of the pushing. A lot of ours prefer that you call when the baby's crowning or if things are just moving along a lot quicker, which happened in this case. Our patient, for being a first-time mama, was a freaking amazing pusher. Like, I'm still in awe to this day. If I don't push like her, I don't want it. Like, it was incredible. I think we had that baby out in like maybe 6 pushes. Like, it was incredible, like holy cow. So we pushed with her for a little bit, and we actually had to wait until the doctor got there and had to put pushing on a pause. We literally were like, you have to half-ass this right now because you're pushing so far that we're about to deliver this baby and we need your doctor here. So we kind of had her slowly, you know, try and push, and then the doctor came in and baby popped right out. We did 1 push with the doctor, which was crazy. After that, we did a couple hours of fundal checks and bleeding checks. We got our patient up to go to the bathroom, and then we were able to transfer her after those 2 hours to the postpartum mom and baby side. Then it was about 6 when we finished up with that. We got another patient who was ready for an epidural, so I got her own bag of LR. And by the time we did that, and just, I swear this last like hour and a half went so fast that before I knew it, it was ready to head home. I'm really sad because that patient I was getting LR for, I really wanted to see her delivery through, but I couldn't because this was my last day. So sad. But then we go ahead and get all of our stuff out of my locker, and I change and I pack up and I get back in my normal clothes. I love that I get to change out of my clothes out of my scrubs into my normal clothes to go home for the day. It is literally the best feeling ever. I used to always have to change at the doorstep, like if you know what I mean, then you know. So it's really nice not having to do that. I make sure I empty out my pockets. I have thrown away actually a couple really good chapsticks and stuff, which I'm really sad about. So now I'm very anal about making sure all my pockets are empty and I'm not missing anything. But yeah, once I'm done changing, I get to go on and head out and get to my car and I get to go home. But yeah, this was like literally one of the best times of my life, and I'm so grateful for it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys and thank you for watching.